Okay, so people say that there's absolutely, I'm going to start out with a banger. People say there is absolutely no positive of a Trump presidency. I disagree fully, because we got our secret Balkan agent, Melania Trump, the queen of all queens.
Are they still married even?
The motherfucking White House.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, she is the let's call her the most privileged victim of a victorious Trump campaign, because I'm going to do the classic meme, went there, got this dumb fucking rich guy, etc., God bless to her, etc., and now all of a sudden she has to pretend to be America's mother for another 4 years, another 4 videos. YouTube brain.
Exactly right.
I don't know if you've ever watched the clips of her talking about, holy shit, now I have to take care of Christmas trees. Who gives a fuck about Christmas? Christmas trees, I have to decorate all White House, and then I decorate White House, and people say, why you no spend time with children? I want to spend time with children, but they are like, decorate White House. She's so fucked, but also at the same time, we all know that she's a secret agent for the future Balkan Socialist Federation that is simply awaiting her activation code. Not only that, but she gave Trump a beautiful tall child, which was the future God Emperor that will bring us back on top. I'm again talking about the future Balkan Socialist Federation. Absolutely. He will be the first American emperor who will ironically kill the American Empire, and he will basically force all us Balkan Banana Republic idiots into reuniting, and then he will move to choose any capital of the Balkans and then govern the United States.
The United Balkan States
will truly be a United States with the United Balkan Federation, and then he will do hardcore Trotskyism on the rest of the world and force them into socialism. That is the long-term plan of the last remaining, I'm telling you, inside information, of the last remaining sleeper cell agent from Yugoslavia, okay? Tito was really planning ahead super hardcore. Unfortunately, he died when he died, but the sleeper agents are still there, and they are simply waiting. We just gotta make sure Melania does not divorce the motherfucker mid-presidency.
Exactly right. I will quickly shift gears from this incredibly riveting. And by the way,
I thought you were gonna talk. Come on, I'm giving you shit. You got the second first lady. What do you even call the wife of the VP who's not white? I thought you're gonna be like, oh no, we also sent one of our great soldiers as well, JD Vance's wife, right? Yeah, JD Vance's wife is brown. I don't know what ethnicity. I'm gonna get shot by this.
She's Hakeem colored. I don't know what.
She's Hakeem colored. Exactly. So we have 2 sleeper agents. Is all I'm saying. The plan is going according to plan. Okay. She's gonna help you with Pan Arabic, but she's not Arabic, so Pan Brown Empire. I don't know. I'm
JT, what is she?
What
is on the scene?
We're getting news. Nationality American.
Oh damn!
No,
but where are you really from?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The question.
Her name is Usha Vance. Usha. So she's will be the first Indian American, Telugu American, Asian American, and Hindu to hold the title.
Okay, well, good for her. Why not?
But what's the title? The
second lady, Yugopnik is the
they
term.
They call them
second
ladies. Holy fucking shit. The only reason I want a woman to win an American presidency is because I want the first husband to happen for the first time. That is going to be absolutely beautiful.
What would they call it? The first sir or first man or some shit?
First gentleman, I think.
I find this strange American liberal obsession with having like a demographic be the president. It doesn't matter. Oh, the first black or Indian or woman or gay or whatever else, right?
Start to sound like a Daenerys Targaryen, breaker of chains and mother of dragons, and first, first of her name,
first genocider of Westeros.
At that point, it just gets like, do you not like Bangladesh has had like female dictators, right? Yeah. A bunch of other cool. Why not? But also at the same time, it doesn't really fundamentally, just because it's a woman or just because it's different ethnicity, doesn't really fucking matter.
Right.
Are Americans really
it's liberals and walls, representation, etc. But there is something to. But there is something to be said in. Do you really like? want girls to be sitting there and being like, oh, one day I can be the leader of a genocidal empire. This is something I now know I can aspire to. Like what?
Exactly right. Before it was actually more progressive. They're like, no, this is reserved for only white men. I'm like, you know what? Keep the blood off the hands of all the rest of them. What a beautiful burden that you guys are carry, JT.
This is what's called the white man's burden.
Speaking of white man's burden, I had a white man's burden type of experience today. Exactly right. JT, who is from the lovely state of Texas, born and bred. Has experienced some lovely Tex-Mex, Mex-Tex, what the fuck is it called?
Tex-Mex, yeah.
Tex-Mex, exactly, and Mexican food, I presume. And I presume you can tell the difference. You probably know better than I can. Today, for lunch, I had something that they gleefully called a taco wrap. Okay. Do you want to know what this taco wrap was?
Yes,
this taco wrap was a bit of minced meat with, like, cucumbers and, like, red pepper. And yogurt.
Okay, they put red pepper inside.
What you got was a gyro.
Exactly. And I tasted it. I was like, it's good, but this doesn't taste like a taco wrap to me.
Well, but no. Now you're fucking with my culture. Did you just say a gyro? That is not a fucking gyro.
What have I done?
And don't fucking call it a gyro or a gyro. It's a jebeni gyros, jebem ti u pičku, razumeš? It's a Greek interpretation of, I agree. I will give it to Hakim here. The supreme wrap, which is the duner, okay? The duner is the supreme wrap. Exactly. Afterwards comes the taco, and afterwards comes the gyros, okay? Why not pronounce the S? Pronounce the goddamn fucking S. But you can also make the gyros as nice and interesting, etc., including the yogurt, but including many other things, as good as a duner. Okay, so it was
we don't have the S
great
here.
Greek independence answer to the Ottoman oppression, because they were like, oh, we will put prepare for a trigger, Hakim trigger. We will put pork in a duner, ha ha ha, and then a gyro was born, basically. Even though gyros with chicken is the best. Shoot me.
Absolutely.
Duner with chicken is also the best. Like, fucking veal, okay, jebeno teleško ovo on. But nah, with chicken, like, I call me a basic boy, but with chicken, it's just good. Because it's the spices that need to carry it.
Do you have any, exactly right, agreed. JT, do you have any relevant experience to what we're discussing?
I'm just I'm lost here because in the United States, we spell it Gyro. You say there's an S on the end. Have we lost a letter somewhere along the way?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
You have.
Gyros.
I think
an SS.
It may be like is absolutely. It may be like in Greece they actually say it differently. I don't fucking know. Nowhere in Iraq would they call it all of it is shawarma for us. Even like donut is called shawarma for us, or gus if you're properly on the street. Gus literally means the cut. So that's how you know when you see the guy's knife and it's rusted to shit.
Oh my god!
When you might get a bit of tetanus on the meat, you know it's gonna be the best fucking meal of your life.
The last one too, apparently.
When you have a guy who has the what is it called, the Volkswagen Beetle car, but the front part of it, he took out the engine and instead he put a fucking barbecue grill instead. So when he pops the hood, it's a barbecue grill and it's all rusted to shit, including the car that somehow runs. I don't know how. When you see that shit roll up, you just know you're gonna have the best fucking food in your life.
When you have two of them roasting, and one is like already completely destroyed, and it has, I don't know, maybe half a kilo of meat left on it because it's like 2 days old, and you have a completely fresh one. I love going there and I'm like, no sir, I give you a new one, very fresh, very good, very new. I'm like, I want the fucking old one. But sir, you will die of poisoning. No, it tastes better. Give me the fucking old one. Give me the fucking old one. Okay, I'll give you discount. I give you discount.
Absolutely. But anyway, so that was my experience with the taco wrap.
One of the positives, I'm on a roll today. One of the positives of what Europeans refer to as like a migrant crisis, and what normal people would refer to imperialism, completely devastating places, and then people need to migrate, is that now more white countries have people from those places that can make actually fucking good Middle Eastern food. So I guess, take the pluses wherever you can, Also, Amsterdam is Hamas.
Oh, take the plus. That is absolutely exactly Hamas, of course. That's not a positive. That is a civilizationally shifting moment for these areas. Like imagine. Exactly right. Literally, a what's it called? A qualitative shift after quantitative developments. Imagine living your entire life on like salted fish that's boiled and mashed potatoes, and then you get like tikke or shish kebab or imagine if you've never had tabbouleh in your life, if you never had like kubba in your life, and then somebody's like, hey, put the mashed potatoes to the side, all right? Have a bite of this gorgeous bulgur shell with pine nuts and meat and spices. They would not understand what just happened to them. You would understand why people. you understand why the region is in chaos. It's not imperialism. It's not systemic underdevelopment. The food is too good.
It's yucky food.
Why would I do anything if I could just?
Good. Nobody wants to work. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Deprogram. Today we have a fantastic litany. I believe that's a word. A litany, a grouping of topics for you guys. Definitely not absolute shit talking. No, absolutely not. We're definitely not coming off of an entire host of beautifully well-researched topics for our lovely little piggies, who we should thank, by the way. So thank you to everybody who supports us on the Patreon. Thanks to all our lovely Habibi tier patrons and all other patrons who chill with us on the Discord server, who get all these fantastic bonus episodes, who get extra content, access to us through the Discord, monthly discussions, and a whole host of other lovely things, including pictures of our hog, which I always forget. Which I never forget to mention. Anyways, boys, a very important question that I have for you. JT named his vice of choice the glazed donut with the cinnamon. What the fuck was it?
The cinnamon twist. It's one of those twisted ones, the long ones, and it's just like a nice crackly cinnamon sugar icing.
Is it soft or is it chewy? Is it crunchy?
So it's a donut. Like it's just a stretched donut with like glazed icing, like a normal donut, except it's cinnamon.
Okay, it's good. Very nice. I would love to share one with you, Habibi.
I mean, you love glazing.
Okay, then you go. Sure. Do you have any such? Absolutely. Have you seen this man? Absolutely. Habibi, you go. How about you? What is your vice of choice? Do you have a cinnamon glazed donut, stretched out donut equivalent?
My new vice of choice is, I think, the Ukrainian bar I frequently go to, ironically with Russians. I know, don't even get me started. Is gin tonic with absinthe and then like lime juice and a little bit of a dash of tequila. It will turn even
alcohol with alcohol.
Yeah, it's alcohol with alcohol and a bit of tonic, of course, to make sure that you properly shit on the next morning. And it's like it turns even the worst of days into this like Van Gogh painting, which now I get like why the dude was doing as much absinthe as he was. It's truly miraculous, and it's truly miraculous to be still living in a free goddamn country, in a real free damn goddamn country where 100% absinthe is an actual thing still. Even as shots.
I was
going to
ask about that because our absinthe here is not psychoactive at all. No, it just tastes like licorice.
It's like, obviously if you drink like 200 milliliters of it, it's gonna fuck you up, etc., etc. Take 1 or 2 shots max, and you'll be fine. It will just like it will turn the coldest day into the warmest one, both psychologically and physically. Like it's very difficult for you to feel. You're probably still gonna be cold and you're gonna die in the cold, but if you're outside, but it makes it almost impossible to feel cold after having a shot, and it just tastes like shit. It tastes like shit. That's why I don't think it's popular, which is completely understandable. But it doesn't also taste bad, contrary to my favorite shot that when people don't know about it, I order for them at the bar, which is straw. Do not buy straw. If somebody was like, dude, I want you to check out straw. It's some insane Scandinavian thing, just like everything. Sorry to our listeners from Scandinavian areas, but like everything that like natively comes out of your fucking countries is ratchet as shit. Like, it's like, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you actively doing this to yourself? And you even call it a motherfucking delicacy. Anti-Scandinavian cultural imperialism by Ugopnik today. But yeah, straw is the worst thing. If you want to prank your friend and you're gonna be like, hey, try this new shot. Immediately whip out your phone and record their reaction. It's a great start to a night out, because they will hate you for the rest of it and make you buy all the drinks, which will then allow you to spike them even with even greater fervor, which will then lead to them doing hilarious things, which you will then record, which you will then use against them in the future whenever you call them up for a night out. Yes, I do not have friends. I just have people that are afraid of losing their careers because I have
captives.
plenty of videos on them. Absolutely. That is the true Balkan way of going out, okay? Oh, what? You got to take care of your family and you have work tomorrow? Sends video on Telegram. How about now, motherfucker? I am the Jeffrey Epstein of alcoholics.
You have compromat on all your friends.
Yeah.
Exactly right. You have a Mossad agency of what's it called? Incriminating evidence. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's talk about some actual stuff, shall we?
Please.
The people need to know about what's going on. This is very important. I've got a little thing here that I jotted down. We all know RFK, right? Brainworms guy.
My favorite American, yeah.
He's very, very strange. Very uncomfortable to listen to talk. His voice is like pained. I don't know what it is.
Also,
But
Mr.
anyway,
Steroids as well.
Is he?
He's absolutely jacked, and he's like 70, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there are no 70-year-old jacked people. It's 10,000%, 10,000% trend. Anyways, yeah, go
That's
on.
very interesting considering his stance on vaccines. But anyway, he wants to ban little treats. He's doing this thing. He's spearheading this campaign under Trump called "Make America Healthy Again." And this whole thing's like, we're eating poison, we're being poisoned by the FDA, and all our food is, hyper processed and stuff, which is like,
It's true, but not the way he means. But yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of U.S. food is absolute garbage, but he is also insane, and he wants to ban things like sunscreen and replace all vegetable oils with beef tallow, which is great for saturated fats and stuff. Completely at odds with modern health recommendations. But it's just like it's a fascinating mixed bag, right? Because he wants to ban pharma commercials, which is good, right?
Right.
We don't need all people like, ooh, I should get that drug because this guy is sitting in a bathtub on the edge of a beautiful cliff with a rainbow.
He's at a multi-ethnic picnic. An elderly gentleman at a multi-ethnic picnic.
Yeah. This drug is lethal for people who are pregnant or may become pregnant. Like, stay away. Oh, okay, geez, thanks. But he also wants to prevent pharma from influencing the FDA. Apparently, some absurd amount of FDA spending money comes from the pharma lobby. But he also loves the unregulated supplement industry.
Of course.
Okay. And then he wants to encourage alternative medicine like psychedelics and raw milk.
Yeah, typical. Oh yeah, so you can fucking
get bird flu and die. Yeah. Which is apparently a thing that we have to worry about now because there have been a bunch of outbreaks in the last year. But then he also suggests that doctors should be able to prescribe things like a gym membership. Not to get into like ableism stuff, if you're able to work out, you should, just to stay healthy.
In many countries, you can do that, by the way.
Yeah,
just so you know.
Exactly, and which is like it's common sense to be able to prescribe like preventative stuff that is not Ozempic or whatever other drug. And he says that should be covered by Medicaid, which is that's awesome, but. He's also a vaccines cause autism guy, and he says there's no vaccine that is safe and effective. So it's a very weird program that he's running, and I, for one, am excited to see where he takes it.
Dude, whenever you see people like this, whenever you see these medicine skeptical people, it's very interesting to know what they don't think what they're not skeptical over, which includes like Viagra, hair plugs, Botox, steroids, right? Like all this stuff. No, this is okay, right? I want my dick hard. I don't want to be shredded.
The stuff I need is really good.
I won't wear
stuff
sunscreen.
You need is very bad.
Yeah, exactly right. the morning after pill. This is an absolute necessity. This, yes. But
Bizarre
The
guy.
vaccine doesn't get me shredded. Is it really doing anything, brother? We must add the
Exactly right.
steroids
I mean,
to every single vaccine on the planet. That is when I will approve it. The true bro ideology has just dropped.
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah.
Ripped children.
If my dick works
my
after
God.
I take a vaccine, is it really doing anything? Yeah. I must be sought after by women,
Honestly,
but then
though,
not
yes.
perform in bed. Yes. Literal, like unironic steroid guys. Unironic steroid guys.
Yeah.
I can't wait for comment section to be like, but no, dude. If you do it really carefully, if you like know what you're doing, if you're listening to professionals, okay,
If you
yeah,
cycle
you do
just
you,
right,
brother.
yeah.
You do you. I'm far from healthy. You do you, man. But like, I'll be like, hey, diabetes doesn't exist. Proceeds to jack himself with steroids. Then we don't have a
Yeah.
conversation.
You seen Zac Efron recently, by the way? And this is, you
With
know,
the,
Holy
the
shit.
jaw surgery thing.
The
or
yacht
what, or-
guy.
the
The
jaw
yacht
thing.
guy. Have you heard that he might be a yacht guy? You know what a yacht guy is?
he's a yacht guy.
You know what a
I
yacht
don't know.
guy is? Apparently, like it's super fucked up. It's not to be made fun of, but apparently it's in Hollywood, etc., etc. It's not just women that are preyed on, but like very conventionally defined
Gotcha.
attractive guys that get roles and get money if they go on
they
yachts
gotta-
with particular
Gotcha.
producers, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So yeah, our boy might be a yacht guy. I am
That's a shame.
getting
I mean,
all
he
this
was-
information from a random clickbait article on X.com. But hey, we are a podcast, so expect your
Who would go
information
on
to
the
be
internet
that
and
well
lie?
researched.
Frankly, yeah.
They're not here for today's episode for factual reporting, okay? You can refer to our other contact for factual reporting.
Yeah, but yeah, the dude was he was a pretty man, right? He was a good looking fella.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
And he swears it was like he tripped and hit his jaw on like a sink or something like that. And but all the like the gym guys, like the steroid people, like no, dude is on gear big time.
I mean, look, again, not to be like this, right? But to be in a particular shape, that's not to hate, of course. There are some people who can genuinely manage to do it, but it's very difficult. And if you're required to be in that kind of shape for like several prolonged cycles of time, right?
Yeah.
Like 8 months out of the year, you need to be in absolute tip-top, absolutely shredded shape. You're not going to do that just by dieting and exercise. Right? Your body has a certain set point where it wants your body fat to be. It's a range, of course, but that's where you will naturally tend towards. When you fight your body that much, you will need some sort of pharmacological help, unless you're legitimately getting every single bit of your exercise and every calorie measured and optimized for you, which is a possibility.
yeah,
but
for
what's
those
much more
for
likely,
those actors, yeah.
What's much more likely is they're getting a little bit of extra help. That's not to say that it's particularly bad, blah, blah. Some jobs, I guess, require it. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no moral judgment to be made there, really. It's
yeah.
like it's your body, you do what you want to do with it. It's just for me, it's like, yeesh, I don't know.
It's all about like
That's
knowing
too
why
risky
you're
for me.
doing it and what the consequences are gonna be. Like if you put your aesthetics, whatever that subjective definition
Yeah.
for you is, over your personal health, and you're like a person that can make their own decisions, okay, tattoo your eyeballs,
Yeah.
dude, whatever, live your fucking life, God bless. But it feels like, especially like young and impressionable people that scroll through their fucking Instagram and they see these yoked up motherfuckers, and they're like, okay, this is
Yeah.
absolutely achievable without me doing a substance.
Yeah.
And then they do it for 2-3 years, like very well, even sometimes very well researched. They're like, what the fuck, this isn't happening for me. And then they end up going on this or that forum, end up taking it without
Yeah.
actually necessarily knowing what the consequences of this could be. But if you know the consequence and you still choose to do it, it's a free planet. Fucking whatever. Fucking put heroin into your fucking foreskin. You do you, bro. Also, please
Absolutely, why
don't do heroin.
not?
But you get my point.
I mean, you know what? Well, Hugo did tell me to do it, and I'm a sucker for his beautiful Balkan persuasion. So,
Hakeem has been known to prescribe things for himself now and
He
again.
hit me up. Hakeem like randomly hit me up during one night, and he's like, "Dude, I can't do it." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't do it?" And he's like, "I have no foreskin to put the heroin in."
I can't finish. I need to help me along.
I need to dock.
Exactly right. You're my plug.
Hey.
Jeez. Anyways, moving aside from these conversations, has anything medically interesting happened. Oh, a woman died today. I mean, almost. I'm not gonna get into
On your watch?
I mean, not on my watch. It was a lady who... Okay, I'll give you the very quick TLDR. A very elderly lady who was okay in the morning, and then when a bunch of people went to check in on her, like a few hours after, she was not okay. This was not in the hospital. This was at home. She was not okay, and they brought her to the hospital, and she would have seizures and blah, blah, all that. She was not responsive. And I was like, this lady has had a brain bleed. It's very clear that she's had a brain bleed. A bunch of dilly-dallying afterwards on account of the intensivist people, I believe is the correct translation. We go up to CT, and she has... How can I even describe this to you? I've never seen a brain bleed this big in my life. She had like... in her, she had visible brain on the CT. Okay, you maybe bleep what I just said and just leave JT's reaction.
It weren't pretty, listeners. It weren't. Yeah. You don't want to hear them words.
Exactly right. But she was alive up until that point. I'll check the notes tomorrow and see what's up. Inshallah, she lives. That was my day.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Speaking of brain bleeds,
how do you even fix that?
Hardcore brain bleeds and fixing brain bleeds. There's this relatively famous streamer that runs around countries and then does fucked up shit in them, like harasses people, beats the shit out of them. Doesn't beat the shit.
Or you don't want to name?
I don't even know his fucking name. It's some American dude. Sometimes he goes with other people and is just like incredibly obnoxious in places. And he especially goes to countries where he believes maybe he will not get as intense of a response. I've been thinking about it for quite a while. Like, I don't know if it just like he's either extremely stupid and he thinks, because I'm American, nobody's gonna do anything to me, or he's extremely stupid because he thinks, if I'm streaming this and there's a lot of people watching, nobody will have the audacity to actually do something to me, etc., etc. Whichever option you pick, it's a very stupid guy, even though he like openly claims he's a literal clout demon. Like the closest to a 100% clout demon you can think of. He admits to it. He's like, yeah, I'm doing this for money, dude. I'm doing this for fucking money, dude. A direct representation of everything wrong with the system, like condensed into one human being. But now recently he's been in South Korea and he fucked around and he really found out, and it turned into something that could be made into a very decent like 1 hour Netflix shitty movie where like Korean streamers were like hunting him through the streets and beating the shit out of him while also streaming. So there was a small like streamer civil war going on there. Then he got arrested by the police. If you're doing like stuff that is so stupid, then you can potentially get arrested in a country where weed consumption even is extremely illegal, and you being smoked up is extra stupid. So when he was caught and finally arrested by the police after they didn't arrest him like 3-4 times before that, but things were spiraling out of control. Mainstream media started reporting on it, etc., etc. So they needed to do something about this yank on steroids. They found THC in his blood, which I believe immediately gives you a incarceration sentence. On top of that, because obviously he recorded everything and everything was clipped. Now they have video material of him doing shit. So he's potentially looking at, yes, we're talking about a streamer that is potentially looking up to 30 years in jail because of his fucking shenanigans.
30 years?
Yes. So, up to 30 years. And it's, I don't know what reason I should be more ecstatic about. It's a fucked up American doing fucked up things abroad goes to jail for 30 years. Yeah. Very based. Idiot. It's a fucked up streamer going abroad doing fucked up things. Potentially getting 30 years. It's a clout demon potentially getting 30 years. But then when you say it's a clout demon streamer American potentially doing 30 years in South Korea, and my day is already fixed. For people listening that are like, why are you celebrating somebody being imprisoned, etc., etc.? All I can say is he can always run away to North Korea and become the next DPRK whistleblower, which would be the one moment when I will say I no longer stand with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea for allowing such an animal in your country is the last line I will be able to not cross.
But hey, maybe we'll put him to use in the movie industry. He'll play an evil American soldier or something.
Oh yeah.
He'll push
do
the
I
trains.
need to preface the evil bit for American soldier?
He will push the trains. He will push the trains.
Exactly right.
As we all know, all the trains are pushed in North Korea.
I don't know why you'd go to another country and commit and just do this shit. First of all, drugs, and first and foremost, drugs. Why the fuck? Even if where you're from, it's fine. Just avoid it. You can live without it for a little bit. It's not meth. All right? It's not crack. You'll be fine. Not smoking up for the week that you're there or whatever.
Yeah.
There's even like clips of him talking to some other idiots on his Discord channel or whatever and being like, how do I get away, guys? And you have like idiots that are like, dude, you need to get out and then take a train to another city where they most likely don't know you, and then take a plane out. And like everybody reacting to this is like, you guys do understand when you have a record, like your passport is identified, and when you show it at border control, you are arrested. And they're like, what? That is a thing? That like blew my mind that like you would never even think of this as a possibility, because I'm guessing, especially people in big countries, they think, oh, I'm flying from place A to place B without needing my passport because it's internal flights. That's not how it works for international flights, my dude. Why do you think the cops fucking ID you? They put you in a system. Why is it mandatory to have an ID on you? So that you can be put in a system. If people could just like fucking stab a motherfucker and then fly to another country from a different city than the ones they stabbed the motherfucker in, like what kind of a world would we be living in? It's just the piling of idiocy one on top of each other.
Paradise
makes it such a good story to me. It's an absolutely beautiful story.
More streamers in prison.
Exactly right, which is of course what we were going to do with Britain. We're going to turn it entirely into
a prison colony.
Exactly, for streamers.
For gamers,
hey, they can continue working. I don't know, they can keep getting their bits or whatever the fuck.
Hey, don't fuck with my bits. Shout out to my Twitch chat. Hey, bits rolling, baby.
Hey, oh my god, but
I need to start streaming. I've asked our beautiful Ugopnik for advice. I've got my Twitch stuff all set up. Got my alerts set up. I've got everything ready. I just need to bite the bullet and become a sussy cringe streamer.
Are you gonna get the fucking cat ears and you're gonna get the on stream and you're gonna bend over in front of the camera while you write the name of whoever donated on a? Is that what you're gonna be up to? I mean, I'm gonna be your biggest donor. So
that's my boy.
You may as well, but like show the dumpy, GT. Show the dumpy. Oh my god.
Hakeem, I'm going to need you to stop donating. I can't hear over these alerts.
Oh my god, I'm going to be sending you 100 grand and being like, say my name.
Also, let me out of the basement, please.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right, let's see what else we got. I've jotted down a few more things that are interesting. Chinese desalination breakthrough, apparently.
Oh,
this has been one of those things where I'm dumb. And so I'm like, people are like, we're going to run out of water. I'm like, well, you got a big old fucking ocean, ain't you? Can't you just like get you a bucket and boil some water? So that
is what desalination is.
Yeah,
in principle. I mean, there's two kinds of it. There's the heat-based and osmotic-based. But it's very the thing with it is that it's very expensive to set up these plants. They're sensitive infrastructure. You can scale them. No, you can scale them, and you can kind of up to a certain point you can scale them. Countries like the Emirates and Saudi Arabia and a bunch of other, like arid places have like 80% or 90% of the drinking water through desalination. It is something you can scale for an entire population. Yeah,
I didn't know
that. The only thing is that it's very expensive to organize. It pays off in the end, but it's very expensive to organize. Number one. Number two, it is sensitive infrastructure because imagine 90% of your clean water drinking supply can be hit with like 3 drones and then bye-bye. That's a bit of a exactly right. It has to become like a diplomatically communicated thing, like the Three Gorge Dam in China, where it's like if you attack our desalination plants, we're gonna nuke you. It has to be like one of those things.
Fair's fair.
The interesting thing, I think they've done this in Saudi Arabia as well, is you can combine energy production plants with their heat output, and kind of pass that off that heat to desalination plants, so that you kind of get like a double effect
dip
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is also the environmental effect, because when you desalinate water, you get two things: you get clean, nice water that you can drink, and then you get this fucking hyper mineralized sludge
yeah.
that you can't just shoot back into the water. You have to do something with it. And there's some interesting developments about what you could do with this. Certain fertilizer things it can be used for, etc. I mean, I know you
throw it at Israel.
I mean, there you go. Exactly right. Mash
Trebuchet.
Exactly right.
Clean water comes out
Just
and
splat it
just
against the wall, yeah.
Let's just drop it on Tel Aviv. Bro.
That's just.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I can give you
maybe
some deets.
make it into like seasoning salt. I don't fucking know. I'm joking, obviously.
Seasoning sludge.
Okay, yeah, go on, JT. What are they? What are the Chinese doing?
The post here. Chinese scientists at Shanghai Jiaotong, working with MIT, engineered a new desalination device. It turns seawater into drinkable water at a rate higher than any other device.
Oy.
The system is passive and solar powered.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
A system the size of a small suitcase meets the daily needs of a small family, producing 4 to 6 liters of fresh water per hour. By some estimates, the water production rate and price are cheaper than tap water. So that's pretty cool.
Preppers be like, take my money, put it in my veins, bro. Put it in
Yeah.
my veins right now. I'm buying 7.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. But honestly, the more time goes on, the more it's looking like China's gonna be the one to fucking to save us.
Honestly,
from, like
yeah.
climate change, every time I think of it, I was like, well, no, human ingenuity will find a way. I think what I need to preface it with is Chinese ingenuity and Chinese communist political will is what is gonna save us.
Honestly, true. We have, or at least I have, a reputation as being a China simp, which I'm not. They just do good stuff, and so they're always the example about.
But the CCP, Winnie the Pooh, something racist.
Oh my god!
They banned Halloween. Whoa!
No, that's true. The She-Bucks do help, but yeah, this tech could be good for disaster zones and stuff. Humanitarian crises could be very useful.
It's especially important for places like what's it called, Yemen or Iraq, which have. Either barely a reasonable water supply, in the case of Yemen, where it's just salt water all around, or the case of Iraq, where all the major rivers are dammed, but in Turkey or wherever else they originate, and as a result, we're just kind of the fuck are we gonna do? We're just left here holding the bag, as you Americans say.
You don't drink sand there?
Oh no, it's delicious. You mix in some of the what's it called, the sludge, the desalination sludge with the sand, and then you got yourself quite the beverage.
True delicacy.
I love it.
Speaking of delicacies, have you seen? It was awkward. It's like 2 ex-boyfriends of the same girl meeting many years after they both dated her, and they. Kind of relate to each other, but they really don't like each other. And that was the first physical interaction between Joe Biden and Trump. JT played the clip. You can play the clip. I have it.
Make sure you're accommodated, what you need, and we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
Good.
welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Joe.
You're welcome.
My main takeaway from this video is the funeral pyre they've got in the fireplace behind them. You hear it roaring in the video. That's a nice fire they built. Whoever put that together.
Absolutely. The American people are finally coming back together. Biden sits there and says, my friend Trump, welcome back.
Nature is healing.
Nature is healing. I can relate to you more than any other random American citizen. And deep down inside, we've always
You're
known
almost as
that we're
demented as I
basically
am.
on the same side. It was just bad luck that put us on the opposites of
I mean,
crosshairs.
I don't think they even talk like this. How do they play golf together? What the fuck? No,
Yeah, no,
actually,
but you can see that's why the video is so good. You can really feel like this attempt at civility after having called each other, lib cucks and proto-fascist genocide maniacs for the better part of 4 years, and it's insane that Trump says, politics sometimes can be nasty, but this is nice. This is very good. Thank you for giving me the stick of power.
Here's
the stick
actually
of
a
truth.
question. Moving from that, I was a silly hypothetical. If Biden actually continued to run and not Harris, he would have still lost, but do you think it would be by the same margin? Would he have done better?
Worse, I think.
You think he would have done worse?
I think he would have done worse.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, he is the architect of the genocide, really, and he is obviously sundowning. Like, he's completely incapable of doing anything. He's not fit for the office, and everybody hates him.
I'm surprised there are no jump cuts in this.
Yeah. Well, some people were like, "Whoa, suddenly he's got some pep in his step after
They
Kamala
pumped him
lost."
for these 30 seconds of him.
Yeah.
Do you know how much he's on this dude? He's gonna crash any minute. there's a backstage like monitoring station, and everybody's sweating bullets. Like, put all it together. We gotta land this fucking thing.
Imagine if when he was looking at the Trump,
slowly spiking.
Imagine if he was like sitting in his room watching the Trump landslide, and like deep down inside he was like, fuck yes, this is what you get for taking me out of the fucking race. Yes, eat dirt, bitch. Yeah, yeah. Uncle Bo for life.
I think he's thinking more about ice cream and maybe about and forgetting
he was
his
asleep.
most recent meal.
He was asleep before the results started coming in. I mean, yeah.
He's like, wasn't I running in this campaign? What the fuck? Who's this lady? Is this 2028? What the fuck is going on?
Exactly. Oh my god. Imagine if they roll him out again for the next election. Imagine he's still alive and he looks like Jimmy Carter.
They literally roll him out.
Oh,
literally.
So
FDR vibes, you know?
Oh
my god. Speaking of rolling things out, keep it rolling, JT. What do we got next?
Let's see what else I've made a note of here. Congratulations to the Chinese on their water maker. Abby Martin was on a show called Apolitical.
Show.
A/political, yeah, Abby Martin rocks. And one of the comparisons she makes, I think, is a very useful one because for the electric cars crowd and stuff like that. One data point she brings up is that the average driver would have to drive their car for 100 years to emit the same amount of CO2 as a single B-52 bomber mission, consisting of one B-52 plane. And there are 80 of these B-52s constantly flying, pretty much always in the air, to preserve what she calls mission readiness. So it's just one of those things where you're reminded every once in a while, like, take the U.S. military out of the picture. Sure, you can make an argument for driving less or whatever. Again, you get into the car-centric society and things like that. It's not really, you don't have a leg to stand on saying that people shouldn't drive. But this, it's just like, it's so abundantly clear. It's like, if you want to make a dent in climate change, you're going to have to dismantle the U.S. war machine.
I mean, I don't want to open up the discussion because it's so big, but I don't even know if Americans, well-meaning Americans, would even be open to this because they're so disconnected from the violence of that system, and they're so disconnected from the sheer waste of that system as well. Not just environmental, but economic as well. How many fucking hundreds and billions of dollars are wasted on nonsense? How much did it cost to develop the F-35 that fucking keeps crashing? That they can't get off the
like
fucking
$3
ground?
trillion, something like that.
It's
Stupid
like you couldn't put this towards anything. Imagine if you put this towards fucking, I don't know, something mundane, for fuck's sake. Dude, we mentioned earlier the steroids and the hair plugs and the dick pills. Put $3 trillion to that. How much the total improvement in quality of life? For the maximum amount
higher.
of people. Yeah, genuinely. You could put it into fucking, I don't know, dude. Make little gardens fucking everywhere. Make something banal.
Yeah.
Right, not even into like research, which would actually be a beautiful thing, right? Dude, relevant thing. Well, we didn't note this down, but it recently came out. There's been a it's not like a breakthrough really, but a significant enough development in Alzheimer's research and just dementia in general, where there are phase 3 trials of certain disease-modifying agents and other drugs that have resulted in a 35-40% reduction in the progress of Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So you still get clinical symptoms eventually, but a 30-40% reduction, that's years extra of like being mentally there life. That is significant, because once you meet a thoroughly demented person or a person with developed Alzheimer's, they're barely alive. Like they're barely, like they're alive because it's people love them and it's inhumane to do anything about it, nor that I might recommend it, or saying that we should do anything about it. But really, it's like it's a corpse that with the heart that beats, right?
Yeah.
Completely different from what they were before. Imagine if a fraction of this, 100 billion, not 3 trillion, 100 billion of this was put towards Alzheimer's research, right? New phase trials, new, fabricating methods, new, whatever the fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, and to your question earlier about what the average American, or whether the average American would be okay with reducing military spending, no, they wouldn't. Even like well-meaning ones, because whenever I do videos about the military, and even quote unquote American leftists, so very low bar to clear, but still, they will
freedoms.
say, they'll be like, well, we spend too much on the military, but if we don't, what's going to happen? Someone else is going to be in charge of the world. I'd rather be the United States than anywhere else because I live in the United States. Like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, what do you? There's nothing really you can say to that. You just keep working on them, but. Yeah, the military is a sticking point for almost every American.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Is what I'm gonna You think there's a fantastic book I've recommended several times. It's called Endless Holocausts.
Yeah.
About mass death, and particularly of American caused, and the sheer amounts of misery connected to that institution and what would become that institution. Of course, the American military evolved from the colonial extermination squads and the slave holding gangs and all this nonsense. The American military and the police force developed and grew out of these institutions. You'd think you'd want to turn a new leaf. You'd think here's a better example. Imagine if like these. Let's say you don't want to put it towards scientific development or infrastructure or whatever else. Let's say you want to still do something diplomatic, because that's what military is. War is the lowest form of diplomacy. When you can't get what you need through negotiating and whatnot, then you go to fucking war. Yep. Imagine if these $3 trillion were spent instead on creating sustainable and positive economic and otherwise like political and diplomatic relations with other countries. Not dominating over them, but actually like, having a quid pro quo kind of system. Basically, the Belt and Road Initiative, that's what the Chinese are doing, right? They're benefiting from it, but also spending massive amounts of money to bring benefit to many other countries, which will have to spend money in turn and mobilize their industrial bases and whatnot. But it is a genuinely like a collaborative effort that benefits all sides. And that is not military. And
but they know this. They know this, and we all know that they know this. If they actually wanted like a diplomatic solution and a relatively unified planet on the basis of species instead of fucking flag, they would have hyper-focused on that and used the most developed fucking economy to ever exist, even though that's a loaded term. Developed, how do you define developed when there's homeless people? You get my fucking point. But if they actually wanted to contribute to a stable world, if they actually wanted to contribute to an advancement in how we organize, to repeat myself, as a species, they would have invested in that. No, it's just a continuous preservation of the local bourgeois interests of the American capitalist class, etc., etc. Obviously a massive oversimplification, but it's there's no way you can give a pitch to someone about a better approach when they've always known about the possibility of this better approach being utilized, but they're just actively choosing not to. And that is the U.S. Imperial Project, and that is the U.S. military. They know exactly what they're doing it because it's a constant run to being on top. But what what we're seeing now is like extra hyper ironic, and that's what surprises me when I hear it coming out of like everyday American citizens' mouths, is that it's just like not even fucking working. Americans are living like shit. They're living like shit. It's a third world country with a fucking Gucci belt. So like, what even is your pitch? Oh, we must protect our place as the number one, because what if somebody else comes? You know what? It might be fucking better, because right now it's shit even for you. Let's not even talk about how shit it is for the rest of us, but it's even shit for you. So like, there's no pitch left except pure ideology, pure continuation of centuries of American exceptionalism. But young people are fucking waking up to it because they don't even have like a grandpa to talk to that reminds them of how good it was back in the day. They're seeing it with their own eyes, that there is no way, no matter how much you try. That's why cults are like limited to 1,000, 2,000 people always. When the material conditions aren't there, it is impossible to inject an ideology that the majority will believe in, when the real world is just so radically different than what you're pitching to them as what they're supposed to believe in. And when America, it's American exceptionalism is another shit, etc. So it's so even from just like a strategic American, now if I was an American exceptionalist, it makes no sense to keep doing this because it is killing American exceptionalism, ironically, So it's just from the perspective, from an American perspective, it makes no sense. Even from an American imperial perspective, because this is not sustainable. Like, these people, like, don't they sit down and like, we can't keep doing this. But no, they can't keep doing this because a lot of them don't even care about the long-term American imperial project. They care about fucking money from Boeing that they as generals can now, spend because they bought 1,000 new tanks. That's it. It's like, it's dumb even if you're an American nationalist. It's dumb from every fucking point of view. That's why it's so unnerving. You understand people's, class interests, ideological interests, etc., etc. But now the American military empire makes no sense from every perspective. Except, 20 generals and 2 presidents and 55 CEOs getting more money. That's like 1,000 people in a fucking 300 million people country. The fuck? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I think some of that, what you were just saying there, is part of the reason why this election, the aftermath of this election, it's kind of seemed somber. Like, even the Trump supporters, like, their guy won. They got what they wanted. They got Trump, but they're not like giddy about it as they were last time or in the lead up to this. And I think people, and then they're learning, like, they like the meme, they're Googling tariffs. What is a tariff? How do I not pay tariffs? Things like that. Because people, they just don't know. And then as they're learning, like, my life's going to get worse even with this guy, with my guy.
Regardless,
What's going on? Why is my life getting worse? Everyone in the United States
the immigrants.
Exactly. So that's the only sell they have left, which is why Harris went hard on the border stuff, which she tried to outflank Trump on the border stuff. So why Trump's going so hard on the deportations and stuff like that, because it's the mate, he's taking your cookie comic again. Like, that's all they have left, is like, your life will not be as bad as the people who are trying to steal what's left of your life. If that's the only thing you've got left to sell, partner, that ain't looking so good for your project.
Exactly right. It gets very disappointing with the level of how thoroughly propagandized the American population is, how thoroughly politically illiterate generally they are, and how easily they swallow American exceptionalist lies or excuses that benefit only the ruling class and profit-based structures. But I understand why they're like born and bred into the system. Yeah. But it's still like, I can't but help be disappointed. I can't but help be disappointed specifically in the fact that they're not, like, I don't know, dragging these people out of their homes and and doing things that will get bleeped.
Mark my words, 10 years. What is it? What is today? Wednesday, November 13th. Within 10 years, we're going to see significant civil unrest in the United States.
Probably, yeah.
Significant.
Oh boy. and we'll be there. And Slurp Bofa will be on the scene.
We'll be on the scene reporting
clip
until
will
my
be
legs get
played
chopped
on
on and
billboards.
drawn and quartered.
The revolution will not be televised, but it sure as fuck will be podcasted.
When the deprogram will be characterized as a domestic terrorist organization.
Yeah.
We really have to get JT out of
One
the
of these
US
days,
in the
I'm
next
going to be
5 years.
swatted. Yeah.
Like, unironically, we really have to get you
absolutely.
out. In the next
I
5
have
years,
you
we
next,
really have
boys.
to get you out. Like, for real. Like, I'm not even kidding. I will drag
my
you
God.
by your heels.
Don't worry, I've got President Xi on the phone. I've got him on speed dial. He's ready to extract me whenever.
Got that red
Exactly.
phone. Nice red phone in front of you.
Yeah.
P-Quad will come in the helicopter. I love it. He's going to be like, once JT is in China, then I'll press the communism button.
Yeah. One final piece to move into place.
Exactly right.
He calls up she. He's like,
Bring
I
me
want
the
to be
Texan.
moved. And she says, you are correct on most of your takes, my friend. You can be fellow comrade here in China. I don't know why he's talking like Slavic accent, but whatever. Oh, this is communist accent, da.
Yeah.
But he says, but you have a reactionary opinion about one thing. And then it's like quiet in the room. And he's like, you talk shit about our great national project, the TikTok. Why do you shit talk at the TikTok? You will not be allowed into China unless you accept the way of the Tik.
Exactly right.
And I shall be proven right once and for all.
Exactly right.
That the
I'm too
greatest
stupid for
revolutionary tool of our
TikTok.
time is the TikTok.
You're
Look
right.
out for Deprogram on TikTok. We will spam
They're-
everything when we
they're
do
gonna-
drop it, most likely a week after you listen to this.
Hey, inshallah. You know they're going to honeypot JT. Do you know how they're going to do it?
How?
She's going to be like, oh, if you want the TikTok, well then look, with the extraction to sweeten the pot, we're going to bring the cutes in the QT gas station.
Yo.
I
I moved to China today. If I can get my taquitos in China, absolutely.
Oh my god, you'll get some Sichuan sauce with those taquitos.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Right.
Fuck.
That was a very good
Give us
bit.
another yellow.
Yeah,
It was a very
yeah, let's
good bit. It was
let's
very good.
see. Here we go. All right. Gaddafi's funk propaganda. You boys heard about this?
What?
So
Oh, that's
Gaddafi
also-
apparently bankrolled 15 Maltese funk and pop records to build support for the regime. And now there's a guy digitizing all of them, and he says they'll be available to stream for free soon. I'm going to play a 45-second clip here of
Please
like
do.
one of the ones he's digitizing.
The desert green on the Libyan plain shall surely provide sustaining supply. Our needs are seen. Your weapon of food is shy in the nude. It just won't do. Here people rule, govern their affairs, and cherish to feel the valued ideal.
What an absolute banger. An absolute banger. Dude, the more I hear about Gaddafi, the more I love the dude. My favorite story of him is that one time when he was in Italy on a diplomatic visit, and he had like a ball or like a party of sorts, and he told the Italian diplomatic branch, was like, I want Italian models there. So
Yeah.
bring Italian models. So there was like 100 or 150 Italian models show up, and they're expecting to like, oh, a Playboy dictator's gonna want to,
Yeah.
stuff. Well, he's not that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And instead, he hands out Qur'ans and he gives them a lecture on Islam. What a sigma! What a fucking! Oh my god, I love it.
It's so funny. But his
I
drip
love
was
it.
unparalleled, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the man could dress.
Do you know the thing that I fucking hate about it is it's at the time a lot of even like quote unquote like the higher end newspapers, New York Times and whatnot, would engage in this racist shit where they try to bring that down. Somebody's very clearly like leaning into the traditional dress of their country as a like diplomatic and political statement.
Yeah.
Right, it like Sankara did this in Burkina Faso. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, we have our own culture, we have our own textile industry. We'll rely on this, and we'll also wear our traditional things. That's the same thing he would do, is where he'd set up the Bedouin tent wherever he'd go.
Yeah.
Right. It's a political statement, surely, and of course, yeah, it can be a little bit eccentric, but it is very fucking cool. What do you want to just be another politician in a fucking suit?
Yeah.
I dare you, look up, just write Gaddafi into Google. You're not going to find one bad picture of the dude. Now look up fucking, who's the Japanese prime minister that got shot?
Shinzo Abe.
Right? It's literally the same fucking photo copy pasted. He's wearing the same suit. He has the same fucking tie. He looks like shit. My God.
Imagine
Or
the
Biden or
motherfucker in,
whoever
like,
else. You want to see a
traditional
dude
Japanese clothes.
with drip.
Yeah. But so
Right?
now I'm
You wanna see a
imagining.
guy with drip.
I
You wanna
agree,
see,
but now
like-
I'm imagining Balkan presidents fucking. Oh my God, no! Oh my God!
In the
Like, no, fuck you! That was actually racist. in you know the traditional clothes. That was like actually racist. You piece of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I
Sorry,
love it. No.
I'm sorry.
God bless. It was good. It was a good bit. It's just batter, mate. Me and the
You
missus.
look good. But the Balkan traditional clothes.
No, it looks
The
good, but it
traditional
needs like a
clothing
big
looks lovely,
gun
though.
and like two massive fucking knives. Without it, like all the clothes was built
Okay,
for
get
like
it.
relatively wealthier dudes. And then, like you wear the big belt right here, very like intermixed
Yeah,
between Ottoman culture and Slavic culture.
Big belt, big
But like the
cock.
big belt was literally for other reasons also to hide the belly. Like I feel like men throughout history have designed clothes to hide the belly, but also for a
Yeah.
big fucking 19th century Glock and 19th 18th century
Yeah.
fucking kako se zovu jebote ovi
Dagger.
like a dagger and a big fucking sword. But it would be okay. It would be cool watching them walking around with a
Hanja.
sword. I would be like, okay, I'm voting for this
Right.
guy.
That would
And
be
then
cool.
you'd actually, you'd watch like you'd look at you'd start watching UN like
Yeah.
minutes just for the fun of just to see all the people in their
that
national
looks
dress.
So cool.
Right?
I mean, then you'd stop being like, okay, what country is this one from? Okay, what country is that one from? That's all. It's the suits are boring. The suits are
Exactly right.
What else
Which
we got here?
minority is the United States sending this time to justify genocide on the other side of the world?
I got one more here about consumption. The West is hungry. In the past 6 years alone, we're talking 2016 to 2021 here. This was that's when it was collected. The world has consumed over 75% of what we consumed in the entire 20th century. So in 6 years, we consumed as much as 100 years.
Wait, consumed in food terms? How?
Not
is
just
this?
food. We're talking materials, like material consumption and production.
Okay, that
Like-
I can understand, but it depends on.
But
the
isn't that the
inputs that
whole
they use,
world?
like
I doubt
electricity
it's
and
just the
whatnot.
West. It's the whole world.
Yeah.
It is the whole world. It is the whole world,
Okay,
but of
yeah.
course it's spearheaded
Yeah.
by the West. If you look at per capita consumption and stuff like that, it's nuts though, and it's not. It's like there's a cohort of people who will make an argument for degrowth, and I don't know enough about degrowth really to make an educated claim. But yeah, it's kind of shocking how much the world consumes as a whole. Especially in the United States, and then how much of that is also wasted because part of that consumption is waste. Something like a third
It's a
of all
direct
food in the
consequence of
United
the fucking
States.
market. It's. We talked about it so many
yeah.
times. Yeah, I don't even want to. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to lecture. This is a shit.
Yeah,
that we
no,
get to do.
no, not you or the listeners, but it's it's too easy sometimes. And don't you feel like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Refer to
I'm
one of our
cringe?
earlier episodes. It's just
I feel like no, but no, not even that. And I think the listeners can relate. Like real moment with Hugo now. You feel very cringe, but like you also know it's true when you see like 90% of the world's ills, and your brain immediately lights up, and it's like, yeah, because fucking capitalism. Literally, because capitalism. And you're like, but come on, it can't be that simple. But then, you're a well-read individual, etc., etc. You're like, but no, it actually is. So, like, there's like two dragons fighting inside of me, where one is like, dude, it can't be that simple. And another one is like, yeah, because you thought this thought 10 years ago. You dedicated a cumulative probably 1 to 2 years of your whole life reading up on this stuff so that you are 100% sure that, yeah, sometimes the answer is that simple. But there's just like a knee-jerk reaction that is still stuck in me. I don't know, from academia or whatever, like Western academia that I went through, that tends to stop me and makes me think, holy shit, am I fucking like LARPing this or not? But then of course I slap myself back into reality, and I realize no, it is like in this case, quite literally the answer is very simple. It's because of a decrepit system that no longer outputs more positives than negatives for wider human society. And that's it. It's that fucking simple. There you go. This is the last episode of the program. Any topic you can imagine us
We
discovering?
solved it.
It's capitalism. There you go. Very good. We've solved it.
That's so true though, because like every episode, you're like, oh, here goes this guy again. He's gonna say capitalism's the problem. Capitalism doesn't have to be behind everything. It's like, yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does when that's the dominant, economic
I think
system.
Hakeem did it a few times, but I think me and JT did it like a lot of times. I started titling them differently, even though I only have like 40 videos. But like I think 20 of them are like, why capitalism caused this? How capitalism led to this?
Yeah.
Why capitalism? The second thought is very similar, but like it's fucking true. It's fucking true. But like from the side, from somebody that's like understands nothing about Marxist thought, it looks like these guys are insane. Like I'm just trying to distance myself. If I had no class consciousness, nothing, I would be like, everything causes capitalism. Yeah, if you fucking break your foot tomorrow, capitalism. Even though no, capitalism didn't break your foot, but how much is that foot bill going to foot you? That it is capitalism.
Nah, fucking.
That was very bad. I apologize to the listeners.
All right, this was a little rundown, some shit talking, some interesting stories, a little bit of positive information here and there, some not so positive, but we had a good time.
Yeah.
We would like to, of course, thank our lovely patrons, who without which we couldn't do this whatsoever. So, to all of you. Thank you for your support. If you're interested, then you can support us on Patreon at JT. What's the fucking link?
Patreon.com/the Deprogram. The same thing
There we
it's always been.
go.
Fucking, you don't read out
Exactly
links.
right.
It's not
The
1998.
professionalism. All right.
That's http://www.patreon.com/the Deprogram.
I love it. There are fantastic bonuses for you guys. Bonus episodes. There are extra episodes and extra content. You get access to the Discord, some fun stuff on the Discord, access to us through once monthly discussions through the Habibi chats, and of course pictures of our hogs.
At this point, I believe there's like over
do consider
40,
that.
over
magnifying
40
glass.
exclusive episodes on Patreon that you get the second you just sign up for the
Exactly right.
tiers. Some more, some less, but a lot.
There's plenty of fantastic stuff, and some of the episodes are chill. A lot of the episodes are heavily researched, heavy hitters. So do check
We're
it
very
out.
smart.
But with that being said, we love you all. This has been the Deprogram. I'm Hakeem.
I'm JT.
I'm Yugopnik, and yes, capitalism did it. Yeah.
Eat the sludge. Eat the desalination sludge.